With less than 6 weeks until the Iowa caucuses, the race for the GOP nominee is heating up. Let's bring in GOP presidential candidate, Governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. Governor, welcome.
Thank you.
I've heard from people that I trust that your ground game in Iowa is superb. You've been to all 99 counties. Is it possible the polling out there does not reflect the true nature of the race?
Well, of course, I think that's been true in every Iowa caucus in recent memory. And the reason is because it's difficult to poll. You're talking about a 2 to 3 hour process where people go in the middle of January. It's going to be cold. It's going to be snowing. And so these are folks that are really committed. We're closing in on 40,000 caucus commitments. And if you think about it, the turnout will probably be between 160,000 and 200,000 caucus goers total. And we're adding more every day. And most people still haven't made a final decision. So we've got the organization, we've got the grassroots, and really our task is to bring this in for a landing over the next 5 weeks. I can tell you that the interest in this has definitely picked up because we've been here, for many months coming. I think the last month or so, the interest is picking up, and I think people are taking this process very, very seriously. They certainly don't believe a lot of what they hear in some of the national media that somehow we shouldn't even have a primary. They want to have this caucus, and they want their voice to be heard.
Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, a fellow candidate, suggests you're auditioning for 2028. Let's play it. I'll get you to respond.
I don't think Ron DeSantis is interviewing. I don't think he wants to be Trump's vice president. I don't think he's a vice president personality. I think he's interviewing for 2028.
How do you respond, sir?
We don't have till 2028, and now is the time, and that's why I ran, because I see the direction the country's going. We're in this period of decline thanks to left-wing policies, and we need somebody that's capable of winning the primary, the general, but then also delivering on these policies and implementing good conservative policies so we can reverse the country's decline. I'm the only one running who has a record of delivering on 100% of his promises, which I did in Florida. I'm also the only one running that has a record of defeating the people that have put us in this mess time and time again. I mean, we beat the teachers unions in Florida by doing school choice. We beat Soros in Florida by getting rid of the Soros prosecutors and having low crime. We beat Disney on against the sexualization of minors, and we beat the Democrats on election integrity. So this is what we need, and that's why I'm running. But he is right. I'm not running for cabinet or any other office.
All right, I want to get your reaction to new Wall Street Journal polling numbers showing President Biden trailing former President Trump 47 to 43. When you mix in third-party independent candidates, Trump's lead expands to 6 points. What's your reaction to that? And do you think there's any chance President Biden over Christmas may have a change of heart if he thinks he's going to lose?
Well, look, we've been through these polls so many times as Republicans. I remember 2022 was supposed to be a big red wave. All these polls were showing how great everything was going to be. And we figured, it has to be, right? Things are going bad. People don't like Biden. And yet the results were different. So I think polls this far out are very much useless. I think the Democrats have a playbook that they have run against Donald Trump and against some of his candidates that's proven to be effective, even when things aren't going good and even amongst voters who disagree with Biden. I do think, though, that there are a lot of Democrats that want to take Biden off the ticket. I think ultimately that'll be his decision, but people know that he's past his prime. People know he doesn't have what it takes to be able to serve as president going forward, and that does hurt him for sure. Now, we were on your network a week and a half ago, and we debated someone that I think is waiting in the wings, Gavin Newsom. I think Harris is waiting in the wings. I think they have a lot of people waiting in the wings, and the problem for us would just simply be, they're even more left-wing than Joe Biden is. So as bad as it's gotten under Biden, if you had a Harris or a Newsom or some of these people, it could get much, much worse, and we can't let that happen.
I'd like to do one last policy thing with you. You've promised to impose a national school choice plan if elected, one of your first actions. Why is that so important, Governor?
Education is paramount. We see the problems with our universities. We see indoctrination in K through 12 schools. We see how the teachers unions have had so much influence over K through 12 education. That has caused a lot of particularly low income kids to not have good opportunities. And so in Florida, we're a school choice state. We have universal choice. And you know what's happened? It's raised the bar for everyone. Our public school districts do better now. Our charter schools do well. And then you can do private scholarships. So we're going to do something. It's going to be a tax credit program with corporate income tax. We're going to go over the heads of the teachers union. So kids in Chicago and Philadelphia and all across the country are going to be able to be liberated from systems that have failed them and have failed this country. I don't think that it'll ever happen locally because of how the political system has dominated with the unions. But I think if we do it nationally, I think it's going to be a breath of fresh air all across this country.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, appreciate you taking time out of your campaign day. We'll see you out on the trail, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alicia?